Tigers go to 2-0 with a win over Louisiana Tech in the home opener. We're breaking down the film on the Hannycast.
The Hannycast, a weekly LSU football film study with Charles Hannegriff and former LSU tight end Richard Dickson. Now to break down the Tiger tape, here's Charles and Richard.
All right, let's start it out with a play that ended up being a bad play for LSU, although it looked real good. This is the interception. This is very early in the game, first drive. LSU first and 10 at their own 36-yard line. And here's that diamond formation that they used for the touchdown to Trades Green against Clemson.
Yeah, it's just one of the other examples of the creativity in this offense. I'm going to call it the star because that's what we called it when we played. But every time they got in this formation against Clemson, you usually had Trades Green lined up on the solo side by himself, drawing attention for one-on-one coverage. And the one thing I noticed a lot against La Tech, and you can see right here, is they're not playing one-on-one. They're going to stay in the zone a lot of the day. They're not moving with shifts and motions. But this is another play where you're going to see Barryon Brown get motioned out, get that one-on-one coverage, and then we just got to make a throw.
All right, so Trades Green is actually at the point of the star here down at the bottom of the screen. So let's watch here from the side view first what they do out of this.
I mean, he's got everything he's looking for. They're running the quarters coverage. He gets up the seam. He beats the guy one-on-one. And this is one where, Nuss has to have a little bit more. If you're going to miss outside. He's got to throw this to his upfield outside shoulder, give him a reason to push back outwards where he has more space. But you never want to throw this ball on the inside shoulder to where it brings the defense back to him.
This is just a bad throw. No. He's got a clean pocket. He's got an open receiver, and he just missed.
I mean, you had five offensive linemen to cover three defensive linemen. I mean, this is everything you're asking for in this play.
Let me stop this here for a second and ask you about what different things they might do out of this formation next. I'm asking you to predict a little bit here because this was a touchdown against Clemson. Same idea, but different, different formation, not different formation, different personnel group, okay? Green was on the other side. This is another play where they've run this thing. This should have been a touchdown.
So if you go back to the Trades Green play, we talked about you either got to cover the 4 or throw it one-on-one. Right here, they got numbers. You could pop past 8 right here if he stays in that star formation. You got 3 guys to block 3, get him on the outside. I mean, they got a lot of different things going with this formation right now.
Could you run Barryon Brown back in on a little slip screen if you wanted to?
Yeah, you have that motion. You could have him blocking the 3-on-3 right there and pop it to 8. I mean, they got a lot of things open. And I think that, when they go back and watch this film, La Tech left a lot of things available to be called in this game.
All right, let's watch it again here. So they got 2 guys over here on Nick Anderson on the other side.
They played. They were going to keep it in quarters. They weren't moving anybody. Nobody was running with man. They got the look they wanted. We just got to get a better throw.
We're brought to you by Cena's, located in the heart of downtown Hammond. Cena's upscale Italian restaurant serving traditional dishes in contemporary fashion, inspired by an abundance of fresh local produce and the ways of old. Cena, creating a unique dining experience. Cena's goal is to use local ingredients and delicious recipes to create an exceptional dining experience while also providing a fresh and inclusive atmosphere that can be enjoyed by everyone's. Cena in downtown Hammond. All right, let's go to the second play here. This is the first drive for Louisiana Tech. Trey Kukrook, who is the quarterback. This is an 8-yard gain, and the tackle is made by Patrick Payton. So let's set this up.
Well, I'm telling you, this is what's making this defense great is the flow, the aggressiveness. You're going to see a lot of heavy flow action to the left side, get everybody moving. If you watch Patrick Payton, he reads and reacts really well. Like he takes on the tight end. His eyes are in the backfield. He sees the ball being pulled. And you look where they're at. I mean, where Patrick Payton is right now is almost to the hash, and he's going to make a tackle on the numbers right here.
All right, here, let's watch the play from the side.
You get heavy flow left that cuts everybody over there. And for a big 280-pound defensive end to come from the opposite hash to make a tackle on the numbers, that's what makes great defenses. They flow. Watch Whit Weeks. Everybody flows left with the action, but they don't give up on plays. They hustle to the sideline. You get guys cutting back, and you got one of your biggest guys on the field making a far tackle.
If Payton doesn't make this play, it's a first down for sure. Let's see how far it actually might have gone. He slips that first tackle. Well,
he's got people covered there.
Yeah, he's going to get Cooley was coming up there. He would have made.
That's an effort play.
He would have made a first down, but
these are the type of guys that talk about they brought in, the guys that aren't going to quit on a play. I mean, run it back real quick because I think one of the more interesting things is you watch the entire defensive line. everybody flows, but he read it so quick. He didn't flow with the rest of them. He got his foot back in the ground, fought back to it, and really recognized it quick.
That's the part. That's why you wanted to show
Yeah,
this
I mean,
play.
his read and reaction, the way he sees it, everybody flows right there. But he saw something quick. He got his hands, got to the outside, and then flew with the ball.
Nice thing. Cooley's going to get up there as well, but that's a terrific play by Peyton. All right, this next play is later in the first quarter. Louisiana Tech's playing 1st and 10 at their own 34, and this is a nice rush by Kukuk, the quarterback. He makes a 17-yard gain here.
So if you watch, last year, this is the play that gives us nightmares, a quarterback running through the hole wide open, getting a 16-yard gain right here. I praised Peyton on the last play. This is the play where he makes a mistake. He's got to understand that, you'll see it in the wide version, but Perkins is blitzing on this one. He's got to understand he's got to crash. And this is just football common knowledge. I played a lot of defensive end growing up. You're going to get a down kick out right here. Right there, he's got to get flat and get that inside shoulder and make it spill. I mean, you end up with two guys on the contain and leaving it a lot easier gap on the inside.
I let it run because I couldn't see Perkins in the screen. Here he is out
you got
way on the
Perkins
outside.
right here. It's a called blitz. You got coverage right here. So right here, Peyton's got to know he's in crash. Watch Goodwin. Let it run real quick. You're going to watch Goodwin slant inside. There's a blitz called. Peyton doesn't for some reason. I don't know if he –
Let me run this back from the close cut again.
If you watch Goodwin, he's going to slant inside. You got Perkins coming off the edge, which tells me is Peyton should be slanting. You got a slant right here. First of all, anyways, you're supposed to be slanting. You're getting a down block right here. You're always taught it's down kick out. So as soon as you see him step down, your eyes should be going to the guard right here. You're going to get your head knocked off. And when you do this, he's got to attack it with his outside shoulder, hit him in there. You'll probably clog up the hole right here, bounce it to where Perkins makes a tackle on the outside. But because he hits him with his inside shoulder, he stays outside. Now you got one guy blocking two. You got the center on the linebacker, and it's just one guy gets out of his gap, and it causes a crease. But I also want to show is we didn't have that safety play last year. But Halsey comes in there, he makes a knifing play, gets him by the shoelaces.
He gets around the lineman. I mean,
Yeah.
72's got him in his
Halsey
sights.
makes a hell of a play right there to get right there around the lineman and grab his foot and stops what could have been a really big play. But if you're running
Jalen
back
Milroe scores on that play.
100%.
Yeah.
But if you go back real quick, to me, this is where, and I don't know what the call was, but it looks to me that Peyton was going in for the sack. He thinks it's about to be pulled right there, and he gets a little bit too vertical, which allows him to get kicked out, and it really takes, one man takes two.
One more time. You're right, Halsey. All right, so Woodland would have tracked him down if Halsey doesn't make that play. I don't know if he'd have tracked Milroe down, though.
No,
I mean,
and those are just plays that, they haunted us last year.
nothing against Kukuk, but he's not Milroe. He's not
running the 4-4.
he's not some of those better running quarterbacks that we saw a year ago. Okay, we'll set up this next play in a second, but we're trying to tell you, but we're brought to you by Capital Area USSSA in the Baton Rouge area, UAAA baseball affiliate, hosting events for all levels and skills. USSSA hosts league play and into the rec all-star divisions, along with AA, AAA, and major level state and national events. Exciting events lined up for this fall and into next spring. For more information, call Lane Petrie, 225-771-9095. Lane Petrie, 225-771-9095, USSSA. All right, this play is a 1st and 10 for LSU at their own 20-yard line. This is later in the first quarter, and this is Garrett Nussmeier going to Xavier Thomas for a 15-yard gain.
And this is just another example to where, watching this film live, I'm cussing aggravated with Davis right now. I'm thinking that he just took a short step. He didn't get a good set. But once you go back and watch the film, this one's really on Trey'Dez Green. He doesn't set the edge. Davis thinks he has help on the outside. He whiffs, and it really puts Davis in a bad situation.
Let's watch it the first time.
If you watch Trey'Dez Green, he goes in for the chip, but he just completely misses. And, Davis is setting short, thinking that he's got help right there, and it really caused him to get beat on the edge. But besides that fact, you have Nussmeier throw a great throw on the outside. He gets it right in the guy's chest. This is a great view if you watch Green. Davis is going to short set, knowing he's got help on the outside. But for some reason or another, Green doesn't get him. He kind of olays the guy, and it puts Davis in a bad situation.
We pay attention to the Pro Football Focus grades. I mean, it's a big, very popular and all that stuff. Davis did not grade out very well in this game. You putting this on him, or you putting this on Green?
I'm putting this one on Green, but he's gonna get the ding because Green didn't touch him.
Okay.
So watch right here. He's gonna take a short set, thinking he's got help on the edge, and Green just misses him. I mean, it gives him a quicker around the edge, makes him look really bad. But if you get that chip and you set him back straight and push him over to Davis, I mean, I think he hits Aaron Anderson for a touchdown on the backside.
It's like Green. Oh gosh, yeah, I see what you're saying with Aaron Anderson. If he'd have put some air under that ball, he would have really had an opportunity on the cross.
Green just has to get it short. He completely whiffs right there.
He throws a chicken wing at him, but he misses.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta make contact right there. Your job is to knock him over, then get out on your route. And if he does that, I think Anderson's got a touchdown.
So Nussmeier, who didn't have his best night, really makes a play there.
Yeah, great play.
That's a tough one. All right, the next play we're going to look at is one of the best rushing play for LSU on the night. Xavier Thomas's 48-yard gain. This is a 2nd and 15 from the LSU 40 late in the first quarter.
What I loved about this is if you watched last week's show,
this up. Yeah.
Where we had a lot of issues, and it was just what I said was, getting timing down, understanding each other, knowing where you need help. But this is one where the tight end, the tackle, do a great combo block. They're all blocking to the backside, and he really does a good job setting the defensive end over, and it makes us a big play because if you watch on the backside, these guys are going to be curling back here. They're going to be working here to here. What happens is Davis doesn't, and he sets backside when they're supposed to be reading the end and allows an extra guy to flow to where Thompson can't get there. But because they do such a great job getting to the next level, he's able to seal it off and allow a big play. I think if this is blocked 100% correctly, it's a touchdown. The tight end ends up on the safety instead of the linebacker. So if you pause right here, everybody's moving left. You're going to end up 78 on 9. You're going to end up they're going to end up slanting this way. You're going to get 79 on here on the Mike linebacker. What these guys got to do is they're working here to here. They know the slant. For some reason or another, I don't know what goes through Davis's mind right here, but this is a pull read off the end, and he ends up slacking back, which causes 56 to struggle a little bit to get to the linebacker because he ends up needing help. And if that all works out, the tight end ends up on the safety on 8, and it's a touchdown. So pause right here. Right here, Thompson is expecting Davis to come down. And for some reason or another, he's looking outside. They're working here to here. And if this is blocked correctly, if you look where 10 is, 10 knocks the edge over. Davis gets on him, and that would put 10 on 8. It's a home run, but because Thompson's slow to get out because he feels this guy leaking, he feels Davis didn't come with him, he is late to keep the guy there and doesn't end up getting on the linebacker. It's a great play, but we're one step away from that's the home run.
Tell you what, a guy who's not necessarily known as a blocker, Jawan Johnson, lays a lick here.
Oh, he blocked his ass off. If you pause right there, if this is covered and where you saw Thompson kind of have to slow play it because he didn't feel Davis coming, 10 ends up on Thompson's guy, which saves the play. But if Thompson gets there initially, then 10's on 8, and there's nobody there for him to make the play.
Really like the kick out block there, but you're right. If they just throw anything at that safety there, this gets into the end zone. We're brought to you by Marucci, from a backyard shed to the top of the game. More than just a baseball bat company, a legacy built on passion and precision. 2 decades of crafting the finest wood, metal, and leather in the sport. We're here to help you run the game at MarucciSports.com. And don't forget the Hitter's House, 5801 Segan Lane and 1801 Airline Drive in Metairie. Members have 24/7 access to the members-only cages, bullpen cage reservation opportunities available, and a 15% discount at the retail store. All Marucci aluminum and composite bats are available as well at MarucciSports.com. Next play we're going to look at is Nussmeier to Nick Anderson on the touchdown. This is at the very end of the first quarter. 3rd down and 5 from just inside the 10.
Yeah, this one, it kind of frustrates me a little bit because Nuss is a very intelligent quarterback, but I'm not sure where his eyes were on this play. You're going to get a lot of flow over to the left side. Parker's going to be open on a slant. You're going to have Trey'Dez Green is open on the crossover, and he just doesn't get the ball out of his hands when he needed to. He holds onto it a little bit too long, and in all honesty, he gets lucky with Nick sliding back over and getting open. And when he got the zip he does, he makes a touchdown, but it's not the clean look that that they wanted to see on film.
It's touchdown, but what do you?
His first
all
read's
right,
on
let's
the
watch
slant.
it from here.
Go ahead and go to the wide view because the line block's great right here. You'll really see it from here.
Okay.
They're going to get heavy flow, which you're going to get Kyle Parker on a slant. You can get Trey'Dez on a cross, and you're going to get Nick on a cross. My guess is the read right here is because you got the backside wide receiver on this side flowing in. Everything should be going this way, and you're going to get 4 to pull the safety. 14's going to pull the linebacker. Parker's wide open for the slant on the end zone. Right here, your first read is Parker, which he's got 2 guys with his back turned to him. That's a touchdown. If you're not going to throw that, you got Green coming across the back of the end zone right here where you throw it up high where nobody can get him. I mean, he's halfway in the end zone. The guy that's going to cover him has got his toes on the goal line. He's 6'7". Put the ball up there. I just don't know where his eyes were on this one because when I see it right here, he's set, lines blocked. I'm looking at Kyle Parker, touchdown, my first read. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable there, I'm throwing it high to the back of the end zone to Trey'Dez Green. He misses that window. And I really, you'll see the play develop. I think it's more luck that he got it in there. Nick ends up settling down. He slides over, makes a tough throw.
Let's go back and watch this thing again.
If you hit pause right here, you got Parker coming on the slant. There's nobody on the inside, and guys got back to him. He's got enough arm.
This guy's nowhere close.
No, he's not getting there.
Yeah, he's not getting there.
So if you let it click for another half second. Okay, so he's already flowing with this guy. Parker's wide open. That's the first read. I don't know what brings him off the first read. I don't know where he didn't feel comfortable. I don't know if these guys are in his eyesight. But then if I'm not going there and you take it another half click, I'm hitting Green coming across the back and the top of the end zone. I mean, those are 2 of your easier throws. Look, we get a touchdown on this play. Everybody's happy. You're throwing your hands up. But he made it harder than it needed to be.
They're blocking 3 with 5.
Yeah,
so he has all the time. He had the luxury of having a lot of time here.
But even that, he's sliding to the left, throwing back to his right. These weren't some of his cleaner plays.
Next play we're going to look at, this is a 3rd down and 6. The ball's 3rd and goal at the Louisiana Tech 6. This is about a little bit better midway through the second quarter. And this is intended, now he's trying to find Kyle Parker.
And he shouldn't. This is another one that if you're going to see, and I get it right here, and you'll see it really good from I got questioned with a few people. I got questions with Trey'Dez right here. I got questions with Weston Davis. You can see from this wide view, everybody in the stadium should know that this guy's blitzing. He's never gets his eyes on Trey'Dez. He's looking inside the whole time. These guys start communicating, pointing to these guys. Hey, you got him. He's blitzing. Like everybody knows he's blitzing, but they don't run a hot off of it. Nobody speeds up. Nobody signals. It just kind of confused me. It felt like Nussmeier looks over there. He sees it coming. You got the backside. He's about to move the running back over to the left. He's going to run a flat route. It's kind of like a smash concept. You're going to have a flat route in the corner. The corner's wide open. This is another one of those plays that I don't see where his eyes were, where his read was. And look, all else fails. He makes a great throw to the back of the end zone that should have been a touchdown that Kyle Parker drops. Bauer Sharp is uncovered, and he still makes a great throw that should have been a touchdown. But when you see this clip, and I can't remember if it's the next view. I mean, everybody in the park knows that the corner's coming, but Bauer Sharp's wide open. Ain't nobody covering him. And
we'll take a look at this again from the wide view.
I don't get the flow to the right because everybody's going left.
Okay.
Look at his eyes. That guy is never even looking at Tradez. This guy starts pointing because they're in a bad lineup. They're trying to get the safety over to know that he's got man because he's blitzing. But when you start seeing this is obvious. And if I'm Tradez Green, I'm hollering, I'm waving, I'm saying, hey, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. Let Weston Davis know you got somebody coming off the edge. You're either going to throw hot or you're going to move a little bit faster, but there's no communication. And when I watched Weston Davis's set, I don't think he ever knew he was coming. But you see this guy, he's pointing. They're all pointing, hey, he's blitzing. You got to get over here. You got to cover. But I want to see the tight end motioning, screaming, yelling. You're in your stadium, you can yell. They got to know that somebody's coming. Weston Davis never gets his eyes off. I don't know. Sometimes you're leaving the guy hot. But if you're leaving the guy hot, somebody's got to have a hot route and get over there quick. There's a lot of questions I'd have on this one.
All right. There's Sharp on just off the left hash. This would have been where you're going with it, right?
100%. I think try running it back to the side view because you can't really see the depth of how wide open they are right here. But yeah, so watch it from this angle.
Whew.
Throw it to the right there. His feet are set. Nobody put it to the back of the end zone. I mean, you got both your options right there. And he knew the corner was coming. If you run it back, I feel like his eyes go over there. If you let it play, he looks over here real quick, sees him. Everybody knows he's coming. I just don't know why. Right there, when his feet are set, he knows he's already won that route because that linebacker has to get to the flat. He's going to play in between.
He's trying to play. If he would have turned and run with Bauer Sharp, you got Jawan Johnson in the
So
flats.
They got everything they looked for right there. It's just I don't know where his eyes were and why he didn't get back to it.
And they still almost made it.
Yeah, and still almost makes a play.
Okay. We'll watch it again from the short side here and let it run. Talk to me about Davis here. This is a short set on the right side.
But Davis, there's got to be some communication because everybody knows you got the blitzer coming off the edge. And I don't know if he's where his responsibilities are. I would assume that you're throwing hot off that. But it looks like he's staying here to help. He's waiting for this guy. But I don't see where there's any communication that, hey, we were taught to scream when you knew somebody was coming. Let everybody know.
One more from the
man. This is the funniest thing to me. I mean, you see him leaning. Like this guy he didn't disguise the blitz at all. Everybody knows it's coming, but for some reason or another, we didn't communicate it and didn't get it. Didn't either throw hot off of it or get it picked up.
We're brought to you by Town Square Pizza, downtown Baton Rouge. It's absolutely delicious for pickup or delivery. For your out-of-towners, you're coming in for games, you're staying downtown, it's a perfect place. They're open until 8 o'clock Monday through Saturday. If you're working downtown, they get the pizza out in a hurry. Unmatched speed, delicious. The Square Pizza, personalized for you, right down there on North Boulevard. So if you got a limited amount of time for lunch, get to Town Square Pizza. And they've also got craft brews. Sunday, September the 28th, National Drink Beer Day. And so the craft brews available down there. They'll be celebrating that at Town Square Pizza in downtown Baton Rouge on North Boulevard. Next play we're going to set up here. This is on LSU's defense. Kukuk throws for a no gain here, and I think you like this play because of what Whit Weeks did.
Yeah, this is, I think, West Weeks on this one.
West Week, I'm sorry.
It's the flow. I mean, we talked about they ran a two-way right here as well. We talked about the screens that we ran earlier to where you have options, you're basing it off numbers. They get the numbers they want right here, and you can see it really good from the outside view, but they're going to olay the defensive lineman. They're getting out. They're trying to throw a pop screen right here and get flow going over here. But because of numbers, they get the running back into the flat, running a flare route. They're 2-on-1, not expecting Weeks to be able to catch up to the running back in the flat.
West Weeks, your team leader in tackles after 2 weeks.
The guy can move. I mean, he's really impressed me this year. If I could say one thing on this one, I want to see Perkins be a little bit more aggressive. You see the play call. You see it flowing. Don't let that linebacker block you. I mean, he's too fast, too strong to where he can rip and get around that guy. But, I mean, Weeks, he flies, makes the play, Stamps is there. It's just great effort. This defense moves, they're fast, and they fly to the ball.
Next play we're looking at, we're back on the offensive side now. This is Garrett Nussmeier to Aaron Anderson. LSU's playing 1st and 10. their own 21-yard line, and this is a big play.
This is just one, and it's a 5-on-3. Great protection, good route running, and Nuss makes just a hell of a throw right here. This is one of the plays that we expect to see from Nuss every time they get the opportunity. I mean, he just threw a dime in there to put it past the backers in front of the safeties, and they make a great play. And look, the offensive line, they do what they should do. When you're 5-on-3, you shouldn't give them any pressure.
Juwan Johnson back there in the backfield again. He's becoming
He's a big weapon.
Bigger weapon in this offense. It's a nice throw.
It's just one of those plays where when you go back, like,
all right, set up the coverage for me pre-snap.
This is your 3-3-5. You got 3 linemen, 3 backers, and they're going to play zone. I mean, they stay in zone pretty much all night. And this is one of those plays that has to be well thrown because they're all going to back out. You're going to have that gap in between the short and the deep. And when you watch him motion over, right here, like, you're almost thinking, I want to go route. But what he does, they end up pulling these 2 guys over. It confuses the secondary, and then you got Anderson coming back on the cross.
This takes a long time to develop. You got to have good prediction here.
Yeah, and this is when I go back and watch this, I'm like, most of the night they were rushing 3. It makes me sick that we gave up 2 sacks when this is what we were seeing. And I got a play in here coming up that you hear 2 sacks, you think of offensive linemen, and they're not always their fault.
This is another this was the 3rd best running play of the night. LSU had about 90% of their rushing yards on 3 plays. This is the 3rd one. This is Barry and Brown here for 15 yards. This was 2nd and 7 at the LSU 47-yard line.
And this is another one that I just love the design. It's one of the coolest plays I've seen. I've never seen this play run this way. And you're in a 13 personnel. You got 3 tight ends in. We talked about the down kick out. And what you're going to see right here is you're going to have your 2 guys down, and we're going to run a motion like Sharp is going to come back and kick out, but then he whips and he ends up being the lead blocker. I just think this is where they're getting very creative.
But I've been listening to people all week. They're saying Joe Sloan doesn't call creative running plays.
Shoot. I mean, I've never seen this one before. And this is one, look, I'm not going to get on the big boys because big boys is tough to go make blocks down the field. But I want to see a little bit more effort right here. Weston Davis does a great job throwing him. But get on your horse, get up there, and make that guy make a decision. It makes the cut easier. And if you run back, Tyree, he whiffs. He essentially blocks nobody on this one. He's got the backside cut off. But once he misses right here, go attack that linebacker. Go hit him. Go hit somebody. I don't like seeing the offensive lineman just stand there. You didn't touch anybody on the play. It's a great play. But go put a hat on somebody.
We've been doing this for a little over a year now with this film study, and every time you get aggravated with a run play, it's almost never at the point, very seldom at the point of attack. It's always
downfield because that's how you make big runs. And running back real quick, I mean, everything's good. I don't want to, but right here, go half click forward. He's standing there. Go hit that guy. Like, he ends up standing there, and if you let it run, he never gets on him. And that could be the guy that makes the play right here. He gets there. He's the next guy to hit him. If you're on that guy and that guy misses the tackle, it's a touchdown. You don't get great runs unless everybody finishes the play.
We're brought to you by Bayou Apparel. And if you want anything LSU, go to everythinglsu.com. Made by locals and shipping from Baton Rouge. Bayou Apparel with the highest quality products. They also do brand designs, whether you've got an established brand or a new one. Eye-catching designs that fit your company's message. They do logos, event T-shirts, and promotional items for your business. Again, go to everythinglsu.com, or you can call 225-928-9090. All right, next play. We're back on defense here. This is Kukuk sacked by West and Whit Weeks. Probably show this one at Christmas time at the Weeks household. Okay.
I had to put the play in there when the 2 brothers get credit for the sack. Each gets a half a sack on this one. Peyton does a great job. He uses quick hands right there, knocks them down, forces them up, and then the Bash Bros go in there and knock him out. And when you see it from the wide view, it's just, this is LSU defense right now. I mean, everybody's covered. Guys are flying around. They're instinctive. The more and more I watch these defensive clips, and if you notice, I didn't put a lot on here because the defense was so great. I mean, we can sit here and compliment them on every play, but there's not a lot to go out there and put corrections on. Watch Peyton's hands right here. Swipe, get straight up there, forces them up there. Nobody's open. Just great defense.
No argument. This next play is Garrett Nussmeier being sacked. This was a 2nd and 14. This is 9:58 to go in the third quarter, and the ball's right up around midfield.
This is the play that made me the angriest of all of them. I mean, this is Nuss is a great quarterback. This is not a Nussmeier play. This is one where I'm not sure really what he's thinking. He gets sacked without being touched by a defensive player. He has a little bit of unathletic movement, but his eyes, you can't really see from here. I'll talk more about, who's open, but he has another one. And they blitz on this one, but you get 5 picked up, 5-on-5, pause. Everybody's covered. He's got plenty of time right here. He's on here. You got Thompson here, center's covered, guard's covered, end's covered. He's got all the time in the world, and go another click right here. Okay, so if you're trying to dump it, you're worried about getting pressure. You got the tight end who's open on the little stop route. He's not looking because he's running the cross route, but there's options here. And once you see the wide view, he had a home run touchdown. It was ready to roll. Watch Barry and Brown on this one.
Far left side.
I mean, one of the fastest guys on the field. Touchdown.
Yeah.
There's nobody over there. So it makes me sick to take a sack right here, and everybody is blaming the offensive lineman. They're blocked up right here. He could hit the tight end, take the 5-yard gain. He's got the home run, but because he doesn't get rid of the ball and then he starts moving around, I don't know where he had a problem going back right, and I don't know why he keeps moving this way, but he doesn't get touched by a defensive lineman on this play and ends up getting a sack.
Let me go to the psychological part of this, maybe just a little bit. You saw from the side view there, stadium's emptied out.
Yeah.
Okay, this is inside of 10 minutes. LSU's got the game won for all intents and purposes. The focus waned a little bit.
Not when you're considered the number one quarterback out there. I mean, these are the plays he's got to make. I mean, I could go back and I've watched that play 100 times at this point, and I just get a little bit frustrated because Nussmeier is a great quarterback. He is the top quarterback in this draft. We've seen it. This was just, he had an off night.
Well, I get it. This one won't be the film that they go back and look at a whole
nobody
bunch.
goes and watches the La Tech film.
Except us. We want to show you a little bit. After this
The
week.
scouts,
After
is
this
what I'm
week.
saying.
Yeah, no, they will. We're going to show you one more play, but first I want to tell you we're brought to you by Dependable Storage with 8 locations across Louisiana and 1 in Gulfport, Mississippi. Match any competitor's pricing, convenient online rentals and payments, and free use of the moving truck for new rental move-ins. Clean, secure, and conveniently located facilities. Check out the website at dependablestorage.com for locations, pricing, and rentals. Like Skip Burtman always said, at Dependable Storage, we want your stuff. All right, 3rd and 17 at the LSU 33-yard line. A little over 4 minutes to go in the game, and this is this ends up being the one touchdown, the one score that Louisiana Tech had.
This is the one play that gets 20% of their offensive production on the night. And I watched this play 100 times trying to figure out who made the mistake, where was the coverage. I see the blitz, who missed the assignment, and I could not figure it out. I watched it again, rewatched it, and then I finally called Hester. I'm like, Jacob, what is going? Whose fault was it? Witt? Was it Toviano? And he goes, neither. This was, and if you go back.
You want to watch the wide view or the short
right
view?
here.
Okay.
Look who's in. You got DJ Pickett. You got Gilbert back in. You got Toviano. You have Jackson, who we haven't seen. They put the backups in on this play, and we have a mental bust. They end up running a blitz where Jackson comes in on a corner blitz. There was no blitz called. So we just basically, nobody messed up. Or the back end did not mess up. We had a guy blitz who's supposed to be in coverage.
Well, that's a mess up.
Yes.
I know that.
I'm at the back end where I'm thinking Weeks, Toviano, who didn't read it, who they got the blitz, who didn't get out. I just couldn't figure it out because I'm so convinced that he got the blitz call, but there was no blitz call on this. And I think this is late in the game. You put they had a lot of backups in the secondary.
Yeah, he's pretty open.
There's no one anywhere close to him. And, made me confused is you watch the end, Witt's pointing at Toviano. They're all like, well, what happened? Guy blitzed when he wasn't supposed to. And if he's in coverage for a half second, it's a sack. I mean, they end the game with 120 yards total offense.
150, but who's counting?
If he covers,
if
that
he
is a
I'm sorry.
sack.
I see
right
what you're
there.
saying. They defend it with 120. Yeah. Okay. They're not going to hang this one in the museum. They got the win. I think that Brian Kelly, I understand what they did going into the first game. I mean, they spent 9 months basically putting all of the emphasis on that game. There was going to be a little bit of a letdown. It was sloppier than they wanted, but only on one side of the ball. And that's where the offense has got to look at it and say, hey, look, we could have been a lot cleaner because the defense, the intensity was there, was minus this last play when the game's over. The focus was there. The intensity was there. And I thought the offense played hard. It just seemed very choppy.
I think it was a tough night. I mean, I thought about this a lot, and if you go back, not comparing the two teams because not on the same page, but 2019, what was the most frustrating, sluggish the offense looked in that season?
The whole season, probably, in these type of games?
No, just in SEC games. What's the toughest
Auburn
game they
was
had?
the toughest game.
What'd they run? 3-3-5. This is a tough defense. It's the same defense Auburn ran in 2019 that Joe struggled with.
Well, they also had the best defensive lineman in the conference. Brown was tough to block.
But it's a tough defense to read.
Yeah.
It causes problems with quarterbacks. It's something you don't see a lot of. So I was pretty frustrated. I'm like, Nuss, you got to, he's the guy. But then I start going back and thinking, I mean, Joe Burrow's the best we've ever seen to do it. And this defense gave him a little bit of trouble.
Don't you think that if that's the case, they're going to see more of it? Or can you just not run some of these things unless you run it all the time?
You can start to coach against it. I mean, you don't spend a lot of time on it because not many people are doing it. But there's options. I mean, we saw 4 or 5 touchdowns just missed because I think, it just gets a little bit distracted.
LSU and Florida this week. We'll be back next week with the film study on that as the Tigers try to get to 3-0. For Richard Dickson, I'm Charles Hannigrove. This has been the Hannycast.